Our first question of tonight is from Mehwish. She says, can we sacrifice a cow for Aqeeqah? First of all, some of the brothers and sisters may not know the meaning of Aqeeqah. What is a Aqeeqah? A Aqeeqah is a sheep that is slaughtered as a sacrifice to Allah the Almighty for thanking Him for blessing us with a child, a newborn. The sunnah is, once a person is blessed with a child, he is to slaughter on the seventh day of the child's birth one sheep if it's a female girl, or two sheep if it is a male boy. And this is a sacrifice. It's a highly recommended sunnah that the Prophet did alayhi salatu wasalam for his grandsons. So this is a well-based, a well-established sunnah, part of the way of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. What to do with the meat? Scholars say that you are sacrificing it for the sake of Allah, which means that the shedding of the blood is a ibadah, a form of worship, and this is sufficient. Whether you consume the whole thing, whether you feed some of the poor and consume the rest, whether you divide it into three parts, one as a gift to your loved one, one as a charity, a sadaqah, and the third is to consume by yourself and your family. Alhamdulillah, you can choose and pick whatever you wish. Now, Mehwish's question is about sacrificing not a sheep, but rather a cow. So, what is the ruling on doing such a thing? Scholars differed, and the Hanafi and Shafi'i school of thought say that this is okay, based on the allegation that in Islam it is permissible to sacrifice during Hajj if you're a pilgrim, or if you're a resident but you want to offer udhiyah, which is a sacrifice to be offered in the season of Hajj. And any expiation one has to give an offer for an error he had done in his ihram during Hajj or Umrah. The Prophet told us alayhi salatu wasalam that such a sacrifice is usually done by one sheep. Yet, it is permissible for 7 people to share in a camel or in a cow, which means that one cow or one camel is equivalent to 7 sheep. But the Hanafi and Shafi'i school of thought say that this can be cascaded to Aqeeqah as well, and to any sacrifice one would like to offer. Other scholars and other schools of thought said this is not applicable, because what the Prophet ﷺ had offered himself as a Aqeeqah were always sheep. And he did not tell us that it is better and more rewarding to offer a cow or a camel when it comes to Aqeeqah. He limited that only to Hajj and Umrah. Now, one would argue and say that logically it sounds okay. A cow is bigger than a sheep and more expensive. So as long as it is applicable in Hajj and Umrah, I see no reason not to have it applicable in Aqeeqah. Again, we do not apply our logic when it comes to following the Sunnah. Simply because if someone says, I have a horse that is 100,000 euros worth, and I'd like to sacrifice it for the sake of Allah, we tell him, your sacrifice is not accepted. He says, why? We said because we have only 3 types of animals that we can sacrifice: camels, cows, and sheep. And of course, goats go under the category of sheep, etc. Therefore, it is not logic that should be applied. And this is why it is safer, it is definitely best for you to sacrifice a sheep if you were blessed with a baby girl, rather than sacrificing a whole cow if you were blessed by a baby girl, let alone to share with other 6 in the cow. So even if you slaughter a cow on behalf of your newborn girl, this is not as good and rewarding as sacrificing a sheep, simply not because of the quantity of the meat, but rather because this is what the Prophet ﷺ had done and performed. One asks, okay, then I did it in the past. I've already sacrificed cows or camels on behalf of my children. Should I do it again? The answer is, inshallah, no. Because it's an issue of dispute. You've acted upon the knowledge you had at the time that it was permissible. 2 reputable schools of thought adopted it. So, inshallah, you were not in the wrong. But from now on, if the line of production is still ongoing, once you want to give Aqeeqah, I advise you to follow the sunnah and to do that with sheep.